what is a bad way to get money right now? Like,
Yeah. And a lot of people are really desperate right now because they're in between getting unemployment. There are problems with getting your unemployment checks right now.
oh my gosh, yeah.
Stimulus checks. So people need cash. But the one thing you really want to avoid is a payday loan. These are short or small loans, usually maybe a few $100s, and people turn to them because it's a quick way to get cash. You can get it to make your rent or your auto payment, and it can seem very appealing, but there are a lot of downsides to these loans. They have really high fees. The annual percentage rate can equate to almost 400% for a few weeks of a loan.
Wow.
And the problem is that often these then end up renewing, they keep rolling into new loans, and people can end up in kind of these debt spirals where they're really never quite able to pay down these loans. So, financial experts advise everybody stay away from these if you can. These are not a good idea. There are definitely better ways to find cash if you need something quickly, your rent's coming up. There are other ways to find some cash that don't have those really high fees, high interest rates. And you
Which,
can look at those. Yeah.
oh, sorry about that. But that brings us to, I know my mailbox is filled with a lot of offers from credit card companies who are like 0% loan for 18 months or 12 months. Or I got one yesterday that had like a little fake check in it that showed that I was approved for $50,000. And I'm like, oh my God, right? Like,
yeah. And these seem really appealing, right? It's like, okay,
I mean, it
my
looked like a
credit
check
card,
made out to me for
it makes like a
$50,000.
check. My credit card wants to give me money. What can be bad
Sure.
about that?
Mhm.
But there's some things you need to know about getting a cash advance from your credit card company. Number one is that they charge right out of the gate. First of all, you're going to have to pay a fee. It's usually between 3% to 5% of the amount that you're going to get in advance. And secondly, they start charging interest right away. So normally on your credit card, you charge something and you have a grace period to pay it back before they start charging you interest. And that's what a lot of people do. They'll buy something, they pay it back to the credit card, and then they're not paying interest on the amount that they borrowed. You can't avoid it though if you're doing a cash advance because they're charging you right as soon as you take that cash out from the credit card company. The interest rates are also higher than your typical interest rate on a credit card. They're usually in the mid 20% range. So that's high. So there are definitely better ways than a cash advance to get money.
Let's talk about what are those good ways. Okay.
All right.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. So one product that people are turning to increasingly are personal loans. And these can have pretty low interest rates when you compare to these other products, in the single percentage point range. They can be higher. It really depends on your credit score. So if you have a better credit score, you're going to get a lower rate. But these personal loans allow you to take out maybe a few $1,000s. You can use it to fix up your home or pay your rent or whatever you need it for. But the thing that people like about them is that the company tells you what you're going to pay every month. So it might be like a $400 payment every month. So there's no surprises there. And that can often be a better way, a cheaper way than a cash advance or payday loan, a more predictable way to pay back that money as well.
And you said some credit unions are offering 0% loans.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Credit unions right now are offering very low interest rate or even no interest rate loans. I actually got one from one of my credit unions where I live, 0% loan for people who are impacted by the COVID-19 crisis. Wow. So if you qualify, which means to qualify, you have to be a member of the credit union, usually have a good credit score, they're going to do a credit check. That's a great way. I think it was up to $5,000, and that can be a good way to get cash without incurring high fees or other downsides.